my fellow comic book collectors. Today is Friday, and on Fridays I do my cover challenge where I basically ask the community if they will show 10 comics based on a certain theme. Like last week, it was comics that inspired TV or movies, and I showed 10 comics that I thought were pretty awesome that really inspired many movies or TV series. And I asked you guys which one you thought was the best. The one that won last week, I always do like a survey, a poll, was this one. Batman, because Batman inspired a TV series, it inspired multiple movies, and it's just like, and multiple TV series as well. So, and multiple cartoon series as well. So, definitely a comic that inspired a lot of movies and TV. So this is the one that won of the ones that I showed. So this is my Batman. This week, and actually going forward this whole month, it's kind of like, for me, October is like kind of a key month. I actually really enjoy Halloween. I'm a big horror buff. I just love I love the horror genre, and so I want to make the cover challenge kind of fit a Halloween theme, where each week I'll pick a different horror related theme and do videos for each. So it should be fun. We basically have to go through our comics, find ones that meet the theme, and hopefully we can show some pretty cool stuff. So this week's theme is witches. This was actually a bit of a challenge for me. Like, it is the Friday challenge, and it has to be challenging. So this was a bit of a challenge. But I actually have 11 books that I'm going to show. And the first one, you're going to be like, why is that on the list? It's and this is why it's 11th. It's the honorable mention. But I wanted to show it because it is kind of a cool witch comic cover, or whatever you want to say. This is Little Archie, number 61, or 60, yeah, 61, I'm right. And you see it's like a beach scene. Has nothing to do with witches. However, right up here, let me see, I'm zoom right in for you. See this? This is little Sabrina. This is the first appearance of the little form of Sabrina. And it's, just kind of a cool character. So yeah, it's her first appearance. She's on the cover. It's a little witch. As I said, this was number 11 on my list. Very low on my list. So number 10 on my list. This one is a bit of a stretch for the witch thing. It is a witch, and actually it has multiple witches on the cover, but you can't really get that sense that it's a witch. This is Magica Dispel's first cover appearance, and you got her like in the water, and you got her in the background, and she's casting some spell. And I paid $15 for it. So it's just really cool Uncle Scrooge comic. She's like, Magica Dispel is one of his nemesis, and it's just a really cool cover. I like when you can get that first character cover appearance, and she's kind of a cool character. So this is Magic Dispel, and Uncle Scrooge. I forgot what number this is, but yeah, just a great Uncle Scrooge cover. Okay. Another thing that whenever I think of witches, and this is maybe a weird thing to think, but I always think of burning witches. Like that's how you get rid of witches. You can either drown them or burn them. Like that wouldn't work for regular women too. It's so weird. They always there's a really great Monty Python skit where they drown the witch. It's just like so silly. Whenever I think of witches, I always think of how do they dispose of witches? They either burn them at the stake or they drown them. So in this case, this one is a burning of a witch. So not only do they burn her though, they also like hang her. This is a witch, and it's The Witch Killer. And this is Black Cat Mystery, number 39. And it's just like, the typical witch, the long nose, the kind of lacking of teeth, the crazy hair, and that, and she's obviously getting burned at the stake. So it's just kind of an interesting thing. I just think of, when I think of witches, I think of burning witches at the stake for some reason. So yeah, so this is number 9 on my list. So it's lower down. Now there's another type of witch, and I kind of want to be inclusionary with my witches. I think of also witch doctors. So I actually just recently showed this book on my Q&A video, and I'm going to show it again. This is Phantom Witch Doctor, and actually says witch on the cover, and which is, to me, an extra bonus point in my opinion. But you got the guy back here is the witch doctor, and you got some, like, maybe they're like casting some spells over here and stuff. So I kind of like this cover. It's just a really great cover in general. I really love this cover. And you got this Phantom Witch Doctor in the background. So this is me being inclusionary with my witches, not just female witches, but male witches too. So, so I just think this is a really great cover, and I had to get it on the list somehow. Okay, so that's Phantom Witch Doctor number 1, and another really great witch one, and this is more traditional witches, and it's actually still men, it's still boys, or well, actually they're not boys. Well, they're boy characters. But they're ducks, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and they're being witches. This is kind of cute. They're on the brooms. This is what whenever I think of witches, I always think of the broom, the pointed hat, and so you got all three of them being witches. This is actually kind of a key comic as well. This is Walt Disney Comics and Stories 98, which is actually the first time that Uncle Scrooge appears in the Walt Disney Comics and Stories. But it's also a really great witch cover. And it also is a really great Halloween cover in general. Because one of the things that I always think about with Halloween is, bobbing for apples. And we used to do that when I was a kid. So I kind of like that. So that's number 8. Or wait, maybe no. Oh, yeah, maybe. Okay, sorry. Next one on my list is older Golden Age book. This is All-Star Comics number 39, I believe. I believe that's the right issue. 39, yes. And I think this is a really great one. You got kind of a phantom witch again. Like, this is sort of a ghost-like witch. But also you got this, I'm not sure if you can see it, but this little witch right here. So just a couple witches, and it's like, that kind of, I don't know, like that old style of witch. I kind of like this style of witch. Not necessarily the old woman witch, but the more pretty witch. So this one's kind of cool. So this is All-Star Comics number 39 with a nice witch cover. And this character you have to have. If you're going to show witches, this character is kind of the witch. This is Sabrina, the Teenage Witch. And I chose this cover because there's so much going on with it. You got the witches, the 2 witches, and they're like, the typical boiling pot. It's always witches like over a boiling pot, stirring it up for some reason. And then you got, she's pouring witch's brew into the car. I just thought that was really great. And the car can fly now. I just think it's just such a fun cover. So yeah, Sabrina the Teenage Witch number 61. And next on my list is another Sabrina. You're going to see a lot of Sabrina on this list. But this one I really like. It's an homage cover. This is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I actually got it signed by Dan Parent. He's the guy that did the illustration. And this is like, it was like the one I got at the Fan Expo. This one is really cool because it's kind of like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, but it's kind of like a Bewitch homage. I liked Bewitched when I was a kid. I saw it on reruns, but I enjoyed it. So yeah, so this is Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And I think it's just the 60th anniversary special for Sabrina. And this was the variant that you could get at the Toronto Fan Expo. And another one more Sabrina. And I just really love this cover. This is Archie Forever, number 3. And it's, again, with Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Now, I always like when they're riding the broom, but this one is still a great cover for Sabrina and for witches in general, because she has the broom in her hand. She's kind of got that witch-like thing. And I don't know, something about the style of the cover, it kind of reminds me of witchcraft and like sort of some magical thing to it. And I like the fact that you have the familiar. So witches always have a familiar. Familiar is like sort of their pet. And they, in the lore, witches could actually communicate with their pets. They could talk to their pets. The traditional like familiar is a cat, but you could have like other familiars like frogs and owls and different birds and stuff. So each witch would have their own familiar, and Sabrina's familiar is a cat. So yeah, so this is Sabrina the Teenage Witch from Archie Forever number 3. And another Archie book with Sabrina again, but this one is really great. This is more my style. And you'll see what I mean by that. This is Afterlife with Archie, number 6. This is the lingerie variant by Andrew Pepoy. And it's just it's really Pepoy. I'm hopefully not brutalizing his name. But it's just a really great cover. It's a very sexy cover. I like my sexy girls. So this is Afterlife with Archie, number 6. And it's just a really great Sabrina cover in lingerie. I just think it's awesome. This was a really great series, by the way. Afterlife with Archie. Okay. And that's the variant. And then, number 1 on my list, and this one is just like a classic cover for me. It has like everything going for it. This is Lois Lane number 1. And it's just a really great witch cover because, you know, you got Lois Lane and she's like all dressed up with the witch. You got the pointed hat. It's actually pointed, not like the Huey, Dewey, and Louie where it was not really pointed. And she's riding on a broom. And, you know, I just think it's really great. It's just such a classic cover. I like the fact that, you know, like whenever a witch flies, you know, they have to fly across the moon. I don't know why. It's just a thing. And that's really why I like it. I really like that, just the whole scene. You know, it says, "Hee hee, thanks to this witch's broom, I can now fly as fast as you, Superman." I don't know. I really enjoy it. So this is Lois Lane number 1. Great witches cover. So that's it. That was my top 10 witches covers from my collection. There was actually one character I really wanted to put on the list, and I just couldn't find a really great witches cover for her. With Scarlet Witch. I was like, there has to be a good Scarlet Witch looking witch-like. But I really couldn't find one. So if you have like a Scarlet Witch, make sure you show it in your top 10. I'd love to see it. So if you want to participate, all you have to do is use the hashtag Friday Comic Challenge and the hashtag Witch Cover. Okay? And that's it. And then put that in your title. And then everybody in the community can click those hashtags and we can see each other's videos. Also, what I recommend is put your video link in the comments below and other people can check out your videos. I always check out people's videos when they respond to my challenges. I really enjoy seeing other people's collections. It does hurt me though, because I always end up buying a lot of the good books that I haven't seen before. I'm like, oh, that's a really cool book. I wish I had that. So I end up it hurts my my credit card. So you'll you'll end up seeing me buy a lot of these crazy books that people show in their collections. So yeah, so it's always fun. So hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.